Shout out to all you beautiful people out there. He is I and I am him. Trap Politics TV, trappolitics.com. It's your boy Rel. Now let the games begin. Bunch of bullshit happening in the news. I figured, you know what? Let's start this morning show off right. You know what I'm saying? Let's get familiar. The Social Roundup Morning Show. That's what I think I'm going to call it. The Social Roundup Morning Show, where, I just address some of the bullshit straight out the pulpit, giving you a full clip of that real shit. Oh, look at that. Write it down, put it in a journal somewhere, and be like, you know what? This man's already coming out with the shots. You know what I'm saying? He's already out here, full clip, fully energized. I got my coffee. And yeah, man, I wanted to cover some topics in the news, especially that whole Young Thug situation, now getting hit with the Rico charge. That shit is crazy. That shit is bugged out. Britney Spears, does she need a second conservatorship? This bitch got her whole coochie out there, and I think is I'm a man that love to see, all varieties of women, you know what I'm saying? Clothed and unclothed, mostly unclothed. But Britney Spears for one, I don't know, man. She just looks a little extra, you know what I'm saying? Looks like, it's just doing too much sometimes. It's never nothing new. She's never in if she want to do porn, she should just jump out and just do porn, right? I mean, you just showing it off every day on the gram. Just jump out the window and just do it already. God damn it. Nobody really, getting pregnant every other month. It's like you really wanted to be a porn star. That's really what it is. You wanted your fucking ankles behind your head. Let's be honest here. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, does she need another conservatorship? I think that should be something we should really talk about. Yeah, man, and I want to talk about these are just my thoughts, I'm gonna be rambling, I'm gonna be all over the place, and if you're interested in just hearing this young black mind go from A to 3, Z to B, back and forth and all over the place like bird shit, I appreciate you stopping through and giving me the time a day just for you to listen, right? So I wanted to talk about modern black men and the steps we need to start taking to finally take control, because I had an epiphany yesterday, right? I had this realization yesterday that I think us as black people in media, entertainment, the digital space have more control now of their narrative than ever before, ever in history. And I think that's been said a lot, but I don't think we really, or people have a good understanding of what that means. I feel like today we really do have more control than we think we do. For some reason, somehow we still think that we need to have our hand out, but I think we need to have our hand in our own business more. You know what I mean? We need to have more of a control of the way we portray, interact, build with each other, And it needs to be said. It needs to be spoken about. It needs to be observed and whatnot. And, yeah, man. I, for one, definitely do see it that way. And it took me staying in the books for 2 years, really understanding how to content market, social media market, how to really figure that out a little bit to really gain value, to be able to say that, it takes time to really learn the technique, but once you learn it, it's like, oh shit. But then again too, you look at the masses, Kevin Samuels for one, a man who owned his image and decided to, take things to the next level with his message. It's like, yo, we really do have more control than, we really realize as a regular everyday man. Kevin Samuels um wasn't no famous person who grew up throughout the 90s and whatnot. Like, Kevin had the same impact as a big celebrity who has grinded out the mud from the 90s to today. The man was on pace to a billion. Literally on pace to $1 billion. And I think that's an interesting fact, right? Especially uh, uh, a common modern day man, a Henry, as they would say, high earner, not rich yet individuals. And there's a lot of black individuals out there that have control over a market, and only if they leverage their value with other people who could bring on value to what it is that they're doing, they could be able to expand. Now, I think it all goes back in line, right, with communication. I think a lot of people don't really have an understanding of how to communicate with each other as black men. Shit, a black man sees another black man in a mall, and it's like it's competition. Oh, he got the new J's on. That nigga's a bozo. He don't even know how to rock that shit, man. I was gonna get to it. I was about to buy that shit, but I said nah. I wasn't gonna buy that shit because I didn't want to look like this nigga. And I look at this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he got the 2000 AMG. Or like what Jay-Z used to say when another black man rolled up on him. Yo, what's the difference between a 4.5 and a 4.6? About $10,000, cocksucker, beat it. It's like that type of competitive narrative that is kind of not needed in society. Like, why not tell your brother, oh, you know, yeah, it's about 200,000, man. I could show you how to get it. You know what I'm saying? Let's chop it up, man. You're a businessman, I'm a businessman. You got a district, I got a district. It might be bigger than yours. That's why I'm in an AMG. That's why you're looking to get an AMG. Let me show you how to get it. Let me teach a man how to fish. There's not too many people out there, especially us as modern men, teaching each other how to fish, and I think that's an issue, you know? I think that that needs to change. And Kevin was one of those guys that was doing that, you know? He was teaching you how to fish. And these are some of the things that I've learned, that I've adapted, that I'm starting to realize now, you know? Now that I believe a lot of us have graduated from the school of Kevin Samuels, it's like we have to really learn as black men how to leverage our skill set for each other's better benefit, you know? Not to say that everyone needs to be shaking hands with everyone, but at least have the benefit of the doubt that maybe the next man might be beneficial for you as well as beneficial for me. And that's my whole thing too when it comes down to networking. And I'm gonna get into the trending topics in a little bit, but these are just some things that I wanted to talk about, just to vent, you know, just to let my mind escape. And I got to start looking at these YouTube streams as just that, especially in the early stages, as just streams of consciousness, like my daily monologue of me just hopping on here, expressing myself a little bit, and you know, just letting my thoughts unravel. So it's not just bottling here, it's actually out there. Maybe if people out there do agree and you know, say, you know what, man, you was actually, yeah, you know, I could dig that. I'm a young man, you know what I'm saying, looking to build with my fellow compadres. Fuck with me, you know what I'm saying? Go to trappolitics.com, sign up for the forum, and we can have more of a better discussion on there, you know what I'm saying? It's a privatized type of forum, a little bit public, but more privatized in a way. And literally anything and everything goes, you know, more along the lines of ownership, right? Because that's what it's all about. It's all about owning things. It's all about creating the assets. And as black people, we've always created something out of nothing. We are the asset generating creatives out there, you know. We literally was given lemons and made lemon noir champagne, you know what I'm saying? A new type of champagne that's high priced, and people like it, value it, and bought it. So with that being said about, you know, modern men and the future starting today, it's like, yo, man, we definitely do need to start taking control. We need to start having more productive conversations with each other, and I hope that that message just doesn't die out. I hope that message actually resonates with those chosen and those who understand, and to think outside of yourself. If you're coming into the circles with a selfish notion, it'll obviously be seen. It's like a nigga with bad hygiene. I could easily pick out people with unpure intentions. It's in their character. It's in their human nature, right? Especially when you've been around these type of people for a very long time, it's hard to be manipulated. Even though manipulation can happen at any degree and angle, you know, for me personally, I could always smell it on an individual. People who just like to overtalk, people who don't know how to pace their conversations, people who aren't open to negotiations, people who just want their way and their way only, could see themselves out the fucking door. You know what I'm saying? I'm here like I'm sitting at a boardroom table. Everybody needs to be heard. So at least we are all on the same page. It's not one man's narrative, it's a collective narrative. So that's always been my approach to things. And whenever it starts to deter where one man seems like he wants to just be in control or wants to be the voice of reason over everybody, that motherfucker has now become the enemy. He doesn't even know it. He doesn't even know it. But he has now become the enemy, and he's not a modern man. He's a savage man, and he needs to either be humbled or he needs to be removed. You know what I'm saying? And those are the type of people. And it doesn't. I'm not talking about just black men. I'm talking about like the overall, right? I'm talking about just the general consensus of just men in general. Men who enter rooms with feminine energy, always wants to be the loudest, person in the room. As what Denzel once said in American Gangster, the loudest person in the room is the weakest person in the room, and we're only stronger than our weakest link. We're only as strong as our weakest link. So, with that being said, now I'm gonna touch back on a few of those topics before I end my stream here. But it's definitely something that needs to be taken into consideration, man. As the message continue to stretch throughout the years, man, and I definitely do hope that it reaches and resonates. But again, these are just my thoughts as I continue to expand on these things. Now, back to this whole Young Thug thing, man, and I think this shit is crazy, right? So Young Thug and Gunna are among 28 people associated with YSL that has been charged in a 56-count indictment on Monday, yesterday. Young Thug-born Jeffrey Lamar Williams was taken into custody after the home he was at was raided. Wow. Now, he's being charged with conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organization Act, a.k.a. the Rico. Whenever they start saying Rico, man, and the feds run down on you, from what I've been seeing on Twitter, they talking about, yo, man, when the feds is on you, they already got the paperwork lined up against you. But it's like, I don't know, man. We already seen what happened to Tekashi when he was caught up in a Rico charge, right? Maybe it might amount to something. Maybe it might not. But let's see. And participation in crime, street gang activity, according to jail records. The conspiracy charge stems from an alleged incident that occurred in January 24th, 2013. 2013, was that 8 years ago? No. 9 years ago. 9 years ago, damn near almost a decade ago, right? While the gang charge is connected to the alleged offense from May 12, 2018. Gunna, real name Sergio Giovanni Kitchens, has reportedly been charged with one count of conspiring to violate Rico. So they got Gunna on a conspiracy to violate. Oh, both of them. Okay. They're both under a conspiracy. So they're not actually being charged with Rico. Is a conspiracy charge the same as being charged with the Rico? Is there two different things? So, and here's the thing about these rappers, man, that be getting these fucking cases, right? I be thinking, and here's my radical thought, right, that the feds, the police, the alphabet boys, meaning ATF, FTA, all these the criminal justice system and the entertainment industry have a handshake agreement, right? Because you only hear these type of things being pulled down on rappers. You never hear about the cocaine abuse that happens on the set of a Michael Bay film or a Disney movie or anything like that, right? They never run down on the director who allowed cocaine abuse on scene, because if you're looking at, you know, the Johnny Depp trial and whatnot, the man was a frequent cocaine abuser. So I'm pretty sure there was coke all over that shit, right? But for some reason, right, I always feel like they always try to run down on rappers. Like, it just helps their image for some reason. Like, the record labels in the music industry, for some reason, I feel, are connected with the justice system, where it's an increase of value when these people are posted in the press for something crazy. It's like an album release for some reason. Yeah, yo, let's arrest this dude real quick, and you know, let's put it out there, whatever. Or, you know, at some point or another, they decide to run down on an individual for something crazy. Like, it's who's tipping off the feds that any of this shit is happening. You feel me? You know, it's like, damn, a decade-long investigation into an individual, which led to his arrest. Oh no. Now, I've been saying this for some time, right? And I've been saying that that the recent incident with the fuck's that kid's name, man? Dougie B, right? Over there in the Bronx and shit like that. Sometimes these rappers do things to get arrested so their face could be publicized in the press. Sometimes I believe that these backdoor deals with police officers are a way to get these people a form of publicity. I think it's all a form of publicity sometimes. Not saying that, you know, that these people aren't really doing these things, but if you really look at, let's say, the Fetty Wap incident, right? Fetty was arrested for the same type of thing, for Rico, right? He was charged with a whole bunch of shit. He was caught up with a whole bunch of shit. And he's still out here walking around freely and shit, right? So I guess he entered a plea bargain, but what's in that plea deal? How are you still out here when you were one of the prime person involved in narco trafficking, gang violence and shit like that? Like, how are you still out here? So if Fetty Wap could be walking out here, you know, after he ducked a Rico, you don't think Young Thug will be? Like, let's really look at that bigger picture right there, right? So I think both of these guys, Young Thug and Gunna, which is these guys are the bag. So there's already 4 guys in place for all of this shit. But it's like, sometimes I feel it's either their way of saying, you know what, I'm about to back out of this gang life shit. Let me just, you know what I'm saying? Let me just call in the feds and get rid of all this, get rid of all the evidence, or at least, you know, be like, listen, man, you know, I don't know. I just feel sometimes that a lot of these arrests are either orchestrated or set up somehow behind the scenes. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. I sometimes, when I think about it, I think it's a crazy notion, but sometimes it just doesn't feel authentic. Nothing about it feels authentic. Because, like, literally, a year later, these motherfuckers are walking free. Granted, though, the common everyday man, when you're arrested on some type of RICO charge, you're damn near doing life, right? Understandably, where, you know, most of these simpletons don't have money like these rappers and shit like that. But even if you do, right? Like, look at the case with Don Diva, Kevin Childs, right? With Kevin Childs, he had to fight a RICO case, but he was in jail for 10 years fighting a RICO case before he was able to get out. And he was a prominent drug dealer in the after, you know, it was all really put out there, but he had money, you know. But it took him 10 years to do that. But a celebrity gets locked up on a RICO, it's like, oh yeah, you know, you'll be out the next week, you'll be out the next, you know, within a few months. Unless you do something like Bobby Shmurda, where you were just still a simpleton in the streets. Look, even Bobby Shmurda, during his time, you know, even though he wasn't charged with no RICO, still, though, it was like he still had to do a crazy amount of time. But he was still a regular, every average day, up-and-coming type of dude. So he didn't really have the connects. And maybe that's what it is that gets these rappers out, you know? Maybe they've greased a couple palms. Maybe they have... have a great relationship with some of these DAs in certain counties and countries that they frequent to do their shows and whatnot. So if anything ever goes awry, they could reach out to their DA compadres and be like, hey, man, I'm in a little bit of a jam. Can you help me out? Can one hand wash the other? You let me know what you need and I'll be able to, make it happen. I mean, these days, I believe corruption is everywhere. I mean, there's no leak that could really be covered when it comes down to the corruption out here. And I believe that in a little to no time, Gunna and Thug, these guys will just be out here walking the streets regular again, while the people who they call slime will be doing crazy amount of time for shit that was probably perpetuated to better, the head of their whole organization, right? The fall guys, the everyday simpleton, normally is the guy that takes the brunt of the licks, as they would say. But as I usually say, hopefully these guys, what I'm saying, might be able to make it out, man. It's not good when more black people are being thrown in jail, especially young black entrepreneurs, you dig? Just seems a little sus to me. Just seems a little sus to me. Where's my sus? Where's it at? Is it this one? I guess I changed it. I guess I changed it on you. Now, Britney Spears. Britney Spears, man. And I touched on this earlier, right? Britney Spears. Britney fucking Spears. For the longest, right? She for some reason she just doesn't like clothes. She just doesn't like to have her clothes on, and she wants everybody to know that she doesn't want her clothes on. She doesn't like having her clothes on at all. And if I was a man, yeah, I wouldn't want you to have your clothes on either. You know what I'm saying? I want you to walk around the house, ready to go at any given moment, because as a man, I'm always ready to go. I have a pretty high libido. So me, if I was her man, yeah, I want you to, yeah. Take all that off. Take all that off. Keep your hair in a bun too. Keep your hair in that bun, girl. You know what I'm saying? You feel where I'm coming from? Yeah. But for her to be parading that shit all around on social media, man, I just think that shit is just wild. She needs to slow that shit the fuck down, because is all that really necessary? Let's be honest, man. Is all that really necessary? Do you need to show your ass, your little ass, all the time? See, the conservatorship had all that shit on lockdown. It's like, yeah, man, at least there was some dignity when the conservatorship was in place. It's like you go to fucking work, you make that money, you get your ass back home, and you enjoy that shit. All right? You go here and you go there, but make sure you let us know where you're going, because we want to make sure you have your goddamn clothes on. Because every time we turn around, you got your ass out. You're pregnant with your ass out. You're not pregnant with your ass out. You're single with your ass out. You're with your man with your ass out. Why are you always having your ass out? In turn, it makes me think that, if you wanted to be a porn star, if you wanted to just, be showing it out without a care, you know what I'm saying? It's like, who are you parading your body around for? Who is it that really still thinks you're attractive at this point? Like, my taste, that's not attractive to me. Britney Spears is not attractive to me. That's just my taste. I don't think anything about her is attractive anymore. You know what I'm saying? Maybe back in the day when she was, more, maybe back in the day when she was a little younger, you know what I'm saying? When that was, sort of like a thing, but today she looks like she's on drugs. The hair is always a mess. Like she just finished getting dicked out. You know what I'm saying? It looks like, the tone, the body tone doesn't look right. Just a whole bunch of shit going on that's like, bitch, put some clothes on. What the fuck is wrong with you? And then why are you putting it on social media? You know what I'm saying? You're covering up shit. Start a OnlyFans then. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to be putting it out there like that, start a OnlyFans. The Britney Spears OnlyFans. Now it will be acceptable to the media. So the media wouldn't have to be trying to parade this shit around like you're losing your fucking mind. At least if you have an OnlyFans, it'll be like, oh, this is just some of her OnlyFans content. You know what I'm saying? She got a whole bunch of shit up there like that. So now it just becomes the norm. You feel me? I mean, I'm waiting for Cardi B to start her OnlyFans account. You know, I doubt it. I doubt you would. But, you know. But Cardi ain't even out there like that. You know what I'm saying? And Cardi and Ciencia, they consider themselves some pretty freaky chicks, but they ain't be, you know what I'm saying, putting themselves out there like that. It's like, what the fuck? But here this chick go, parading herself around, getting white America all uptight, butt hurt. Shit is bugged out to me, man. And I can't stand it. Personally, I mean, like, you know, aside from the fact it ain't, you know, it ain't none of my business, but as a man looking at that shit, I don't find that shit attractive at all. It'll probably turn my stomach sometimes. Again, though, if it's just me and her in the crib, cool. But if you're putting it online, it's now something different to me. It's like, who is this for? It's not for me anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, you can feel comfortable in your body and shit like that, but like, yo, it's just, I don't know. It's just a weird type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? And even if she wasn't on OnlyFans, I don't know if it will be for me anymore. And like I said, I don't think it'll be anything special anymore. The speciality, the printabilities behind the speciality is now gone. You feel me? Shit is gross. But let's see what they were saying. Toxic singer who's pregnant with a child left fans fearing for her mental health after posing a flurry of naked photos in her to her 14 million Instagram followers. Britney, 40 years old, appears naked in the exhibitionist snaps, which show a star covering naked breasts with her hands and using an emoji love heart to cover her genitalias. See what I'm saying? See what I mean? Like just going above and beyond with the bullshit. On Sunday, Britney vented about feeling silenced during the conservatorship, saying, "I was a fucking nun in my conservatorship." Again, if you want to do porn, just say you want to do porn. You know what I'm saying? So you could show that, you know, that snatch that got slammed out by the industry. You know what I'm saying? You were a nun for a reason, I guess. You know, but then again, I don't know. Now that you're 40, right? You want to show out like you're 22, 23 and shit like that. Like you're bad baby or something out here. And even she's not even doing nothing wild like that. You know what I'm saying? Psychologist Dr. Arby Tang told female Britney has aged but hasn't grown, saying she's endured scripted childhood and coercive control in early adulthood. Mr. Tang says her fiance Sam, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, 28, is unlikely to want to advise her against posting such photos, fearing he might emulate control of her dad. The nigga is even scared in a relationship. Yo, her fiance, yo, that's crazy. And her fiance is 28 years old. Britney Spears is 40 years old, dating is engaged to a 28-year-old, right? 12-year difference. Yo, this is going to be the new norm. Like that other actress who was dating that other 24-year-old. Now, I ain't knocking it. Young nigga, get your paper. I was even told when I was younger, too. Like, yo, man, you know, why don't you slamming up some of these fucking old hags out here that got all this money in the Hamptons, man? Go out into the Hamptons, start piping some of these old-ass bitches down, and get that money, my nigga. Damn. You still look young. You still, you know what I'm saying? You still... Did you create your own... Like, I'm being told to, like... use that to my advantage, you know what I'm saying? Use your youth to your advantage and go out there and get some fucking 40-year-old, you know, in my mid to early 20s and really start getting the bag out of these hoes because they're widows. They're just on the beach, ain't doing shit with themselves. Haven't gotten some good pipe in a long time. My only problem is where the hell can I really find these old hags? You know what I'm saying? Put me on to some of these old thoughts, and I'll give them some good dicking. But they gotta, they gotta at least have a little bit of upkeep. You feel me? Gotta have some upkeep. You feel? Definitely some upkeep. The oldest. All right, so at my age right now, the oldest I would probably smash out is a 40-year-old chick. That's it. 40. The oldest I would go 40. That's it. And that's not too far from where I'm at right now. So there you go. But still, though, I look like, my skin is still tight. Like I'm young. It's a little dry right now, you know what I'm saying? Plus, I didn't do my exfoliation, Sometimes I dip my body in some bath soaps. Let the skin take it. I got to take care of the skin, too. The skin is an organ, you know what I'm saying? You got to make sure your skin is nice and clean and, you scrub all the dead skin, and as you get older, more dead skin accumulates, and that's the problem with a lot of you people out there. Y'all don't know how to really take care of your skin. I be looking at some chick's hands sometimes, right? Because that's the first thing I look on a chick. I look at her hands. I don't look at her nails. The nails is a distraction from the hands, because certain chicks be having these manly, skinny ass. When I say skinny, I don't mean thin. I mean like extra layers of skin on their hand. It's like, you see how my hand is like, sort of smooth. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not really. Some chicks, there was this one girl, bro. I swear she was like a bricklayer in her early teens and shit like that. I swear she used to lay brick, bare hands, no gloves, nothing. I used to like dap her up and shit like that sometimes, and that shit was so fucking coarse. I was like, yo, what the fuck is up with that? Why is your hands like that? Nails can't distract the fact that hand's been through some hard labor. And it was just distracting to me, because how could a man be hitting that and and having that hand touch her and shit like that? It would just feel weird to me. A chick can't have no manly ass strong hands and think that shit is attractive, right? Because that's just crazy to me. That's just weird to me. But anyways, I digress. I'm all over the fucking place. Now, yeah. I keep my skin tight. I keep my skin as firm, and I used to, man, listen, once I get back on my game, get back on the ball, I'll be in the gym damn near 4 times a week, back on my grizzly again. You know what I'm saying? Shooting, sweating. I love to sweat. I love to run. I love to exercise. I love to work out. The only problem with my workout regimen is that I don't eat properly, because I'll go a day without eating and then hit the gym the next day and like go ham in the gym, drink hella water, throw up the water, still drink some more water again, because throwing up water is for bitches. You know what I'm saying? Shit. You know what I'm saying? I like to keep myself in shape. So if I'm going to be smashing a 40-year-old, like Britney, 40 years old. If I'm going to be out here smashing it, listen, man, I want her to, feel like she getting that old thing back. You know what I'm saying? Like when she was younger, in her younger days. But this shit is disturbing, for the fact that she's out there posting crazy ass photos. Her fiance, 28 years old, so obviously he does not have a dick in a relationship. The dick is now owned by her. Britney owns his dick because she's 40. She's obviously the breadwinner. Who the fuck is this nigga? You know what I'm saying? 28-year-old, her psychologist told female that Britney has aged but hasn't grown up. She hasn't matured at all. She's still young-minded. So posting these type of fucking goofy ass weird pictures on the internet is just bizarre. And her fiance is unlikely to want to advise her against posting such photos, fearing he might emulate control of her dad. So it's like, yo, that shit, that shit is disturbing, man. Motherfuckers get into relationships to survive, and that's the problem with men today. And that brings me back to what I was talking about earlier, man. Forget Britney. She's a fucking lost cause, a loose case, a wild cannon. I don't know. This is not going to end. There's going to be more wild, reckless, crazy shit coming out from her camp. And it's only a matter of time before you see her on X videos or Pornhub or whatever, getting fucking dicked out because she just wants to get more attention that way. Fucking weirdo, goofy bitch. She about to be pushing 50, trying to be like Madonna, taking fucking ass shots and shit like that. Have some grace. The fuck? She needs another conservatorship to calm that ass down. The fuck? Until she really matures, grows up. The conservatorship was for her to grow up, break her out of that shit, but it didn't happen. So whatever. It is what it is. Now, back to the fact that the man in the relationship has no control, right? Back to my whole notion that the value of man today is it seems like we're just surviving. You know what I'm saying? We're not thriving at all. We're average at best as men these days. You know what I'm saying? And average is a overstatement. It's we're not even average. We're just getting by. I've seen many instances where men just rely on the fact that the woman is there to help them. Many men won't be where they are if they weren't hanging on to the coattail of the woman that they were with. There's very few men who says, listen, I've evolved and got it out the mud on my own, and I'm surviving on my own plateau. I created this. I thrive upon it. I've mastered it. I've excelled. Now, I have seen some, but the majority that I've seen, especially where I'm at, which is a pretty prominent area, I don't see many of it. I myself, I'm not a person who has a lot of, well, I do have a lot of success in my life, but I'm not saying that that's where I'm at right now. I'm still at a building level, right? Because things happen. I've grown through corporate America. I said, fuck that now. Now I'm really on my entrepreneurship, and I'll invest every last dime and dying energy for me to really make my own. It's all about ownership for me at this point in my life moving forward. No more selling my valuable time that I can never get back for pennies on the dollar. Like, it's just crazy to me to even do that. I get it. Sometimes you need to do that in order for you to keep the ball rolling. They say to make your hobby your side job, but this is, I have too many valuable assets to just think that I have to live a mediocre life. You know what I mean? So my whole purpose is to make the best of the value that I have within me out there onto the open market. America is one big market. Why not? Make the best of it out here. So it's very unlikely that I see men making it on their own these days. Like, they always need the strength of a female to get there, and nothing was wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that at all. Me personally, I feel like we need to see more men, though, just making it on their own, so it can set a good example for other men out there that are trying to build ownership, trying to build fortitude, trying to build a better example, for the future. It's like, yo, you can't do it on your own. If you network with the right people, you build up your portfolio of skills that you're able to live off of. Why not? What's holding you back from being as successful as you need to be as a man? Go out there, speak to the right people, network with the right people, exchange value, leverage it, and grow. I told everybody that worked for me at one point in time, listen, if you guys want to do something outside of this, let me know what you want to do and how I was able to make it. I'll tell you what you could do to make it. I've owned multiple businesses at one point in time, all some more profitable than the other, but they're all operating businesses. So I know how to open a business, open a bank account, get your accounting done, and so on and so forth. I'm able to understand how to apply these things and do these things. And it's nothing for me to really sit down with another person that look like me to really give them the knowledge, because you're not going to get the knowledge from anybody else without paying a high price that they know you can't afford. So they can't say that, oh, well, I tried to tell him, but he just didn't want to do it. Like, it makes you look like the enemy because you didn't want to do it, but they won't really say that, hey, I was charging this guy $5,000 an hour just for me to teach him how to do QuickBooks and file his own taxes. You know what I'm saying? Or I was charging him $800. Like, my accountant, it wasn't until I really realized that my accountant wasn't really robbing me, but she was definitely overcharging me. You know what I'm saying? Even though I appreciated what she did, it was all a learning lesson. I realized that I could have did this whole shit myself and saved all that money. There's no reason for me to be paying her $600, $800 a session. That was just absurd to me. You understand? Absurd. The littlest things you're overcharging. No, it constituted to me evidently closing my business. You know what I'm saying? One of the most profitable business that I've had. But still, at the end of the day, it's a learning lesson. And most men, go through those periods in life. But the thing is too that I've realized is best when you're learning new things is to fail often, but fail with the intent of learning from your mistakes. So if you're gonna fail, okay, you fail, but at least you learn from that to not fail like that again. And if something else come up, you have experience from failing, like something that might be similar to what obstacle you might be facing in the future, to at least use that experience to get over that. And even if you fail like that, you can't fail, old man failure only lasts for so long until success comes around that corner as well. You know what I'm saying? So you can only fail so much until you start to succeed. You can only get it wrong until you really start to figure it out and get it right, especially if you have the right attitude towards it. If the attitude that you have is to become better at what you're failing at, you won't be failing for too long, if at all. Shit, I was able to build trappolitics.com off of making certain failures, off of looking at it and reevaluating it, trying and trying and trying until it's actually what I want it to be now. Now my website is fully functional, fully the way how I want it to be. There's a few other kinks I want to work out, but those are all backdoor things. The way how the website is set up and designed is A1, perfect. I even, I make money off my website, even though it's still small, but still though, I've failed throughout the years while I was learning how to be able to make it the way how I wanted to make it today. So it's best to, if you're going to fail, at least fail with the intent to learn so you can be able to become better and whatnot. And, evidently, at the end of the day, man, you could be able to say, you know what, man, look how far I've come as a man. No one could tell me what I can't do because it's mine. I own this. I run it. I operate it. Ownership was something big in the past, man. Everybody back in the early days wanted ownership, right? Business was new. Being able to be on the open market is new, but now like the digital market is just as new as it was back then. The gold rush, man. Even Nipsey once said it. It's like a gold rush right now. If you're able to have a good understanding of how to build and operate and really excel in this digital world, you could really escape this matrix of selling your precious time on earth for money. You have a very finite time on this fucking planet, so why would you waste it on things that you will only be able to enjoy for a very small moment of your life? Like, you go to school, right, for your associates, which is more than 2 years. It's a 4-year thing, but your master's and so on and so forth. Cool, right? Nothing is wrong with a higher education. You get it. But now you're in a job situation where you have to ask for permission to go to do certain things and whatnot. No, I ain't knocking a job or whatever, but I'm just looking at how much time I have on this earth compared to how much time I'm working to enjoy the time on earth. That's how I always look at life in a way. If I could be able to acquire skill sets that I'm not only passionate about, but it's valuable to the market, because nobody wants to sit back and learn digital marketing. Nobody wants to learn marketing like that, really. But if a person who is a designer, right, and they're able to create NFTs during the NFT boom, they could have been able to create a whole bunch of a crazy portfolio and sell their shit, or they could help people create a portfolio to sell their shit. But it's something that you've started from when you were young. Not to say that you should be following your passion, but if your passion is something that is something where it's profitable to the market, do that shit. I've always been in the digital realm from since like the early days of the internet and shit like that. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully you get an understanding of what I'm trying to say about being able to at least add value. Do something that adds value. If it doesn't add value, at least do something that you're comfortable doing. And if you could do it independently of selling your time, find a way to do that shit, because I've seen people out here that are making money hand over fist, doing a little to no work. They don't have to work a day job because their side business is bringing them money. They do small time day jobs that brings them $300 to $500 a week because they have a website up and running and they're selling a service to people who are booking them constantly during the summer times, during the fall, during the spring, fall, and summer times. They're constantly busy, not really busy throughout the winter times, but within those periods alone, year round, they're making over $60,000 a year, and that's just a side job. And then they go and they work a regular day job, a regular bullshit 9 to 5, just to bring in another extra $40,000 a year. So their side hustle is paying them money that they work at their leisure while they do their day job. So they're making just as much as the doctor, damn near, pulling in $100,000 a year, maybe more, depending on how busy their side business do, if they want to even scale it. Because at this point, they're not even scaling it from the people who I've spoken to. So it's like, there's ways to use the digital world to your advantage. And there's people who don't even have any type of online acumen that's making crazy amounts of money. So I always look at myself like, yo, why aren't I doing this shit? But I've spoken enough. I've talked enough. Shout out to you and yours out there. It's your boy Rel, opening up the minds and eyes of the people, of the sheeple. Hoping that I touched the hearts of many. Make sure to check out the website, trappolitics.com. I'm trying to do my best to see if I could go live as frequent as I can, build with the people, start hopping on different panels, start conversating with different groups of people, start talking the self-help talk, start finding people in that avenue of things, as well as the trending news avenue of things. Give people motivation. Give people inspiration, outside of being boxed into some type of community, to be independent, man. So at least, we have a belief that we could be able to make it. We develop that belief. We grow that belief within ourselves that we could be able to make it. So it's your boy Rel, Trap Politics TV, trappolitics.com. I appreciate you guys. Whoever decides to tune in, who rock out, view, oh shit, let me take it easy. View the replay. Until next time, peace, love, and prosperity, biatch.